not attempt to adjust your dial. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. It's your boy Big Vern. This is App Stupid, the fastest growing sports and entertainment show on these YouTube streets. You're welcome. Holla at us. It's your boy Big Vern coming to you live on a frigid Friday here in the Midwest. I think the high today is supposed to be 33. So if you got to take your pets out, make sure you go ahead and get them out and get back inside where it's nice and warm. Thank you for subscribing to the content, by the way. And top of the hour, our last segment, we talked about the unfortunate news of Victor Wembanyama. He is now done with the San Antonio Spurs for the remainder of this season because of blood clots found in his shoulder. It's a very, very serious situation, and we pray for his speedy recovery. We're going to stay in the association, actually, right now, and talk about the real reason that Luka Doncic was traded. Now, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know just anything from sports or left from right or your ass with anything, you want to talk about the real reason that Luka Doncic was traded. And the Mavericks, they were never going to offer Doncic that mega deal. And I know everybody's like, what? A mega deal? The general manager identifying one star to trade, negotiating with one GM he knows and trusts, and targeting only one player who he's worked with before and whose character he can vouch for. That just shows what Harrison, Doncic, and Pelinka and Davis, that this was no accident. Again, this was no accident. If you want to say fire Harrison, because I know every day they have these tropes where people are trying to get fired and they want to go ahead and fire this guy for trading Luka. He had a relationship with Rob Pelinka. So they already knew each other. They already knew how to keep this quiet. Remember when I said that LeBron James didn't know about the Anthony Davis trade and he was caught off guard? That is true. He also didn't know about the Mark Williams blunder and debacle, because in the piece in The Athletic, it referenced Rob Pelinka asking Luka Doncic, hey, who would you like to be as center? LeBron didn't even get a say. See what I'm telling you? And then Rich Paul, he had a Sports Illustrated article where Rich Paul said, had he known Anthony Davis was even in discussions to be traded, it wouldn't have happened. Again, what you see on TV is performative art. What really goes on, the jockeying, looking at what's in play, people circling the wagon, that's in print. And that's why when it comes to sports, you cannot just report on TV. You have to do some investigative reporting. You have to do more reading. Now, again, this was the whole purpose all along, and the Mavericks, they were looking to balance the books. It shocked two people in that trade. Number one, the people who thought Luka would stay in Dallas forever, and number two, people who don't think you can trade a future face of the league, making everybody expendable. Exactly. The NBA is a business. It will go out of its way to show you every time that they are going to do what's best for business. They're going to do what's best for business. And Luka was not good for Dallas business. We'll explain that when we come back and we get on the other side of the content. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. I'm loving this new hip hop week. This is crazy. Bum, 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 bum. It's your boy Big Vern coming to you again from the App Stupid Studios with another rap album we pushing this month. West Side Gun 12. Brr, brr. I always wanted to do that. In stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites on the track is going to be Adam Page featuring Stove God Cooks, Health Science featuring Brother Tom Sauce, Gumbo Yaya featuring Brother Tom Sauce, East Miami, and Outlander is a beast. Wow. West Side Gun 12 in stores now. out to West Side Gun. I enjoyed the album 12. Make sure y'all go get it. So before we hit the rap break, we sat there and we talked about what was good for the Mavericks. And you have to understand the word Supermax. Because if you understand Supermax, there are currently 8 Supermax deals in the NBA. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Devin Booker, Damian Lillard, and Karl Anthony Towns. Doncic is no longer eligible for the Supermax after that trade. You have one other guy who is coming. He will be in that conversation is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, he becomes eligible this summer. And unless Harrison replaces Sam Presti, it feels like a lock for Harrison. Again, it feels like a lock that the Oklahoma City Thunder will receive that exact guy into that conversation. SGA, he's going to be the first player this year to make $80 million. As for the Mavericks, and the latest nugget of wisdom from Doncic, it's pretty obvious Harrison wanted nothing to do with keeping him in Dallas as a franchise guy. With all of Luca's injuries and Luca's weight issues, because remember, on this program, go back, check the files. We kept calling him Luca Donut because he was out of shape in the NBA Finals. He has poor lateral movement. Lonzo Ball showed you that the other night when Charlotte beat LA in LA. He has poor lateral movement. He has, again, they took advantage of him. He has known issues with his weight, and he's had leg injury problems and foot. They did not see the value in keeping him and investing in him to be a Supermax guy. And so Harrison reached out to the only GM that he knew, and he knew personally that can keep things under wraps, which was Pelinka, which is cold-hearted because these guys come into contact with these superstars every day or every other day or on game day. The executives come into contact with these guys, and to knowingly know you're working a deal to get rid of him, not saying anything to his face and smiling, just shows you the nature of that franchise and the character of that dude. Because that's what they call in the streets a fake bitch. Honestly, again, Harrison had nothing to do with, he wanted nothing to do with Luca and keeping him as a franchise guy. There aren't many superstars in the history of sports like him, but the Mavs decided at his young age they couldn't trust him or his future enough to deliver a title. Harrison opted for Davis to pair with Kyrie Irving because remember, I always told you there's a third shoe to fall in this. Both players Harrison knew well from when he was at Nike. Boom. Again, this was already in place. They did not want Luca to get a Supermax deal. The franchise have money tied up into him. And if you thought it was something to move him and the whole world be shocked now, it would be even harder to move a guy on a Supermax deal because he can't go anywhere. No NBA team is looking to take over a Supermax deal. Again, you trade him now. Now, like I said, the trajectory of every franchise, they'll sit up here and say, oh, well, Luka's going to go ahead and benefit the Lakers, and they're going to go all the way to the Western Conference Finals. That's not in the cards right now. Dallas is going to fall off the map, and they're going to be irrelevant, and they're going to be a clandestine franchise. No, that's not happening right now. What you're in is a mad dash to the NBA regular season, to the end of it. and then you'll look at the seeding, and then you'll look at the playoffs and where you go from there. That's when you can make your assessment. Luca didn't even play last night versus the Portland Trailblazers. Anthony Davis is currently hurt, nursing an abdomen injury. Again, everybody wants to jump out the window with these microwave results. Sports doesn't work like that. However, you need a broader context and a conversation why the Dallas Mavericks, they felt they could not trust Luca. They felt that he would show up out of shape. They felt he would miss more games. They did not see the value in giving a guy that kind of commitment. And if you look at it from the NBA's aspect, don't look at it from a player worship aspect. Look at it from a business decision. They made the right decision. And what helped facilitate this even more is that the GM knows Kyrie and he knows Anthony Davis, and they have a Nike relationship. Whew. The old Knights of the Republic show their hand every time. Again, they don't trust a 25-year-old who at times comes out into the season out of shape. He's injury prone. And third of all, they only wanted to work with guys they trust. That's why that happened. Everybody is really focusing on the trade. Nobody focused on why they did it. It's a money thing. It's always going to come down to money. And I'm the only person talking about it. I tell you, I am the best in the world. If you're a Dallas Mavericks fan, get in the chat. Let me hear from you. Tell me how you feel. Are you still pissed? This is Big Bird.